hurt him a little bit.
That's beautiful right hand.
He's out.
Down goes
He's out.
Dominic. Back and let's
Here it comes. Watch the leverage from the bottom of his feet. Boom! Straight right. Everything landed solid, Mark. I mean, that's a picture.
This is Danny Garcia at his best.
Latinos, he goes a second time, and this is it.
Falling ever further behind them. Oh no!
The first time I stepped in the ring, I looked at his face and I saw he was too emotional. I said, no way he's gonna win. I was telling my trainer, I said, he's gonna lose tonight.
Tommy Morrison and Ray Mercer are just another reason why 90s heavyweight boxing was unprecedented. The fact that these two struggled to hold a version of a world title speaks volume for how jam-packed the division was back then. Both could punch extremely hard, and both had real championship qualities about their game. But when they clashed for the WBO title back in 1991, Mercer proved once again why his nickname was Merciless.
In itself, just that nervousness. Mercer with two good right hands. And now Mercer on Morrison in the corner. And Mercer's all over him, and Morrison in trouble. And Morrison goes down for the first time in his career. And that is it. That's it. It is it. Over. Ray Mercer has won it. He successfully defended his WBO heavy. What a shot by Evander Holyfield. It was a twisting right. And down went Douglas. There's a new heavyweight champion of the world, and his name is Evander Holyfield.
And how much more unlikely could this scenario be? Not Douglas winning early, not Holyfield throwing a left hand. It is, instead of Douglas's right, it's Holyfield's right that creates a...
And was able to withstand blows by some of the best punchers for 16 years. But in 2010, rising star Canelo Alvarez proved his punching power was a force to be reckoned with when he knocked out Amir in the 6th round. October 1989, Tim Witherspoon entered the ring against Anders Eklund. Witherspoon had all the prerequisites. He was powerful, and his right hand was a potent weapon, with which he knocked out Anders in the 1st round.
This one is over. The big right by Witherspoon gets upstairs. Sean's prophetic.
In April 2013, the future heavyweight king, Tyson Fury, fought in America for the first time. His opponent was Steve Cunningham.
Touch him up.
In the 2nd round, Fury missed a hard incoming right from Cunningham and experienced the first knockdown of his career.
That's the punch right there. Steve Cunningham was looking to land that overhand right. Tyson Fury got too aggressive and got caught with a big shot. Even more aggressive, coming right back.
Tyson does not throw wild punches.
Big left hook. And there is Champ down. 3, 4. The count is 5.
For the rest of the
6. The count is 7. This one's over. 9. This one is over.
all over. He tried to make it. Sammy Scab tried to get up.
Mike Tyson takes 2 steps forward. Let's go with a couple of lefts. Now a right, a left. He's got it down. Mike Tyson sends Mike Jamison to the mat.
Jamison is doing at this point what I think he should have been doing in the first place. He just took the right hand.
He's down to one knee. Jamison. Joe Cortez, the referee, with a count. Jamison suffering his 2nd knockdown here in the 5th round. Back up in the corner. Jamison wants to continue.
You will struggle to come across a more inspirational knockout than when Danny Williams battled through a dislocated shoulder in his fight with Mark Potter. In 2000,
and Danny Williams has got a problem with his shoulder. I think it's come out of his socket. Yes, look how limp it is. He can't throw it.
He's not throwing it at all. Yeah, there's a problem there, definitely.
And Potter's seen it. He's going in with the left hooks. And Jim McDonald's looking on. I don't know whether they're going to pull Williams out. He's got to go for it, Danny Williams. And still
Yes, I'm popping him forward.
Nice knockout! That's unbelievable from Williams! And Potter is out! I don't know whether he's going to make it! That is astonishing!
My personal favorite middleweight fight ever took place in 1993 when Julian Jackson attempted to defend his WBC title against Gerald McClellan. For me, these two are the hardest punching middleweights ever, and when they met at the ring, it was always going to end in a brutal KO.
Straight right hand down the pipe, and it was Bertie, a lead right hand.
No count necessary.
In October 2005, two-time world champion Jose Luis Castillo and three-time world champion Diego Corrales met for the second time in the ring. Their first encounter, also in 2005, in Las Vegas, ended with a Corrales victory by TKO in the 10th round. The expectation was that the second meeting between Castillo and Corrales would result in another tough fight, but it was not meant to be. Castillo took his revenge, knocking out Corrales in the 4th round. March 1996, David Tua bursts onto the world stage with a brutal KO of John Ruiz. Having his first title fight, Tua, then unbeaten at 22-0 with 18 key woes, really showcased his talents.
The left hook.
A low right from Young. And down goes Mark Young. A breeze. That's it. A little phantom. He's gone. It's over.
To the southwest stance, starts to rock two right hooks off Tyson's head. With about 20 seconds to go. And there is a solid shot. Stowski stayed up after that one.
This is a much slower and much more measured Mike Tyson. And Albany tonight, good right hand, out him down. Early in the 4th, can Tyson finish this? I think so. I think so. That's enough. Now that last right hander, that was questionable. Tyson celebrated.
This fight has 0 ranking when looking at it from a historical aspect, but the way Courtney Blocker flattened Dominic Good in the 2015 KO of the year was picture perfect. Listen to the sound of this one.
There's the straight right hand, hurt him a little bit. That's a beautiful right hand. He's out.
Down goes
He's out.
Dominic Good.
Here, cuz watch the leverage from the bottom of his feet. Boom! Straight right hand. Everything landed solid, Mark. I mean, that's a picture perfect shot.
There's a straight right hand. If you watched part 1, you'll remember my pick for Mike Tyson was his legendary night against Michael Spinks. It was a brilliant night in Iron Mike's career, but if we're talking just pure savagery, there's no doubt his punch over Michael Jack Johnson in 1985 was the most brutal one-punch knockout of his career.
23-pound weight advantage, and he put it all there.
The right to the head, and it's all over. Goodbye.
I hope he's not hurt because that was a brutal, wide-open punch.
It was rumored Johnson broke his jaw in the fight. Just another day in the office for Prime Mike. September 2017. Yunior Durekos more than lived up to his nickname the KO Doctor. He knocked out the Russian hammer Dmitry Kudryashov in the 2nd round to retain his cruiserweight world title. March 2019. Overconfidence often ends in failure, as exemplified in this fight between Sam Maxwell versus Sabri Sadiri.
Looking a little bit groggy on a face which tells a story.
Some knockouts are just brutal and spectacular. One such KO took place in June of 1972 as light heavyweight king Bob Foster, a man known for delivering highlight reel KOs, defended his crown against the unbeaten Mike Quarry in the 4th round. Foster landed a right cross, followed by a left hook which dropped Quarry just before the bell sounded, ending the 4th round.
Years of age, long as 27. Oh, wow. Well, that was quick. Here comes Tyson. Left hand again.
Well, he nearly sent Long out of the ring with that left hook.
Tyson, Long is down, second time. Tyson comes out with a strong right hand barrage again.
This is as bad as I've ever seen Donnie Long look, but give Tyson credit, that's it. Wow.
The left hand puts him down. He collapses, and this one is over as the doctors rush into the ring.
Tyson, we've already seen in his brief pro career, hit like a steam hammer. And Ricardo Spain has already found that. Boy, that was quick.
Soccer punches are always well documented. When looking back on the crazy nights in the ring, but rarely do you see the punch come from one of the cornermen. Check out the disgusting act committed by Andre Dirrell's uncle after his nephew got knocked out by an illegal punch. After the bell, oh wow, Jesus, my goodness gracious, my gosh, that's inappropriate to say, that's assault, you guys. That's why he's gotta be so mad. After the punch landed, Dirrell's uncle escaped the building and went on the run from authorities. He managed to evade capture for 2 weeks before he handed himself in, and the opposing corner dropped all charges on him anyway. When you see that, this was actually the 26th fastest knockout of all time. You'll definitely be wondering how a fight could possibly end any faster. Check out the 13-second blowout between Jimmy Thunder and Crawford Grimsley in 1997.
He was on a roll. He had won 7 in a row by knockout. And now Froch Grimsley with the first punch. And that looks like it is it.
Why is the referee counting? You don't have to count on that. This fight is over. The referee counted him out.
James Thunder, known as a quick starter, but we didn't think it would be that quick. Said he had to come up with something very big, and I think he did.
Choose credit, sticking to his card, the Prescott as it is.
But falling ever further behind them. Oh no! That's what we were worried about. He won't get up from that.
He's out.
A right hand. It's all over.
He's out.
Oh, would you believe it? Unbelievable. Would you believe it?
November 2006, IBF heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko puts his title on the line in his first defense against top American contender Calvin Brock. Brock boxes the champion on even terms for several rounds, until Klitschko knocks him down with a big left hook, followed by a right hand in the 7th round. The challenger beats the count, but on unsteady legs, the referee Wayne Kelly decides that he is in no condition to continue. Deontay Wilder's hard blows sent more than a dozen boxers to the floor. But the knockout of Dominic Breazeale in May of 2019 was especially striking.
Very keen look at the eyes. The eyes for the giveaway. Oh, the legs have gone. This is all over. Yes, it is. I don't believe it. That's well inside a minute. Left hook. Good night. What a great shot. There's a mandatory 8. They keep wheeling him out. He keeps knocking him over.
I assume most of you guys watching at home have seen it already, but I don't think it would be right to make a knockout reel without putting Canelo's 2016 KO of the Year over Amir Khan on here. Khan was actually boxing pretty well in the opening rounds, using his speed to upset the much bigger Canelo. But in round 6, the Mexican turned up the volume and put the gutsy Brit flat on the mat.
As well as taking away his energy and every...
stopping the fight. And Canelo Alvarez is the first one there.
Not many boxers could boast about the fact that the hardest punch they took through their first 15 fights was by themselves. Yes, you heard that right. Tyson Fury actually landed a flesh uppercut on himself during his contest with Lee Swaby in 2009.
Grunting with effort as he unloads. Desperate call on there. Yeah, he's desperate for a knockout, Fury.
Now watch. Walker's about to fire a left hook to the jaw. With every ounce of remaining energy, Charles attempts to beat the 10 count. And it's all over. At 55 seconds of the 7th round, Desert Charles sheds his crown.
January 1999, Mike Tyson against South African athlete and former IBF heavyweight champion, Francois Botha. The fight took place in the MGM Grand Garden. Tyson knocked Botha down late in the 5th round and referee Richard Steele stopped the fight.
Botha stumbling around. 8, 9, can he make it? It's over. It's over. Mike Tyson has returned.
One right hand equals...
September 8, 2004 was the date Bernard Hopkins made his 18th straight title defense of his middleweight crown. Oscar De La Hoya was undoubtedly his toughest challenge yet outside of Felix Trinidad a few years prior. B-Hop was outboxing Oscar for the first 9 rounds, and everyone was expecting the two to battle it out to the end. But out of nowhere, Oscar went down on what appeared to be a light body blow, and many of the spectators felt it was a dive.
What do you think?
But it didn't seem like it was enough.
It was more back on the back part of the rib cage and not so much in the volume earlier. It seemed like it shouldn't have, well, who knows.
Delayed reaction. De La Hoya clearly still reacting to that left hook to the body, and then he took a little shot on the head, but
no,
unquestionably it was the body shot that finished Oscar De La Hoya in the fight.
Although many people at the time thought it was a dive, I'm fairly confident that the punch did more impact than what meets the eye. To all you guys at home that have been hitting the body, I'm sure you understand.
He said he's not looking for the Tyson who fought McGillian Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson.
He was one of United Kingdom's best middleweight boxers. He turned pro in 1978 and went undefeated in his first 38 fights over 9 years. But in November 1990, he met in the ring with Julian Jackson, who had insane power from the start. Jackson struggled with Graham, unable to find anything of note with his left eye near shut. The ringside doctor gave Jackson 1 round to continue before he would stop it, and at 1 minute 13 seconds of round 4, Jackson desperately threw a full power punch that made contact. Graham was out cold before he hit the canvas.
He won't get up from that. He's out. A right hand. It's all over. He's out. Oh, would you believe it? Unbelievable. Would you believe it? And he's still out. When you can punch like that, Dave, what can you...
This is the only punch from part 1 and 2 that's not directly from one fight. But I felt it would be an injustice to finish these videos without mentioning the unique punch held by Donovan Razor Rudick, known as the Smash. Here's a preview of what the punch looks like. Kind of like an uppercut jab, but the power he generated on these things throughout his career was amazing. What a punch, what a delivery.
What hand speed.
Left uppercut, head goes down.
He's fighting the wrong fight, not using his legs at all.
Goes down to the second straight, dumps it down.
The greatest female knockout hands down came back in 2004, when the giant 6'6" Vonda Ward stepped in the ring against the legendary Ann Wolfe. Both girls were the best fighters of their time. Only 2 losses in their whole careers between them, and with the size advantage massively apparent, you might be surprised who won. 15 knockouts.
But how many people were scared of her and did not really fight her?
Oh, big right hand. 1 punch. That is it. Forget about the count. It is over. Tim Bird. Unbelievable. Let's hope.
Being knocked out normally has only one outcome. Boxer gets hit, boxer goes to sleep, but one of the strangest reactions to a KO happened back in 1995, when Vincent Petway landed a vicious counter left hook that sent Simon Brown to the canvas hard. And it's that type of fight. Something ON. Get clipped with a left hook and Simon may not be able to recover from this one. Count up to 5 and 6 and 7. He's not gonna make it. It's at 8, 9 and 10. Simon Brown knocked out with a left hook. Sticking to the theme of strange-looking faces on the canvas, it would be criminal to leave out Francisco de Jesus' look of desperation on the mat when he got brutalized by Lamar Parks in 1992.
Bottom line. And there it is. A matter of time. Never, never land. Look at the eyes. He's out. They shouldn't even count. That's all. The eyes tell them.
If there was ever a look to sum up a boxer being completely finished, I think it was this one.
Criminal law courses at Oklahoma State. Right now he backs off from a sharp right uppercut to the body by Tyson. Again, a double right hand to the body and the chin. Down goes Lorenzo Boyd. The count is 5. The count is 6. The count is 8. He will not get up. It's over.
I'm not sure if there has ever been such a brutal first-round knockout in the heavyweight division. Between 2 top contenders, as when David Tua met John Ruiz back in 1996. Everyone knew Tua was an up-and-coming power puncher, but he had only fought low-level opponents until this point. No one expected him to annihilate Ruiz this way, and I mean no one.
And John Ruiz, 225.
Listed as having a reach advantage here. We'll see how he uses it. Tua with a big left hook, and Ruiz in trouble. Tua comes right at him. Another big bomb, and Ruiz is down. This could almost be over now. Tua came storming out. It's over. Tony Perez stops it at the count of 5.
Ruiz laid unconscious for a good 5 minutes, but thankfully made a full recovery. When Mayweather retired after beating Ricky Hatton in 2007, most boxing fans knew it would only be a matter of time before we saw the pound-for-pound star back in the ring. But 2 years went by until he eventually made his return, and to the surprise of many, his comeback opponent was none other than Juan Manuel Marquez. The opportunity to earn Mayweather money was far too good for Marquez to turn down. Despite actively fighting 2 weight divisions below, but weight aside, this in my opinion was the most glorious performance of Mayweather's career. No one has ever beaten Marquez with such ease. He slipped and counterpunched beautifully all night and even knocked down the Mexican Warrior in round 2.
He's a tough campaigner, Marquez. And he said he's doing this for the Mexican people, but down he goes. And that was sharp and slick and accurate from Floyd Mayweather and Juan Manuel Marquez.
And Butterbean were looking for a fight with Mike Tyson. McNeely wanted another crack at Iron Mike. And Butterbean had always dreamed of a match with the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But there was no real chance of that happening for either. So after months of negotiations, it was decided that the two would square off against one another on June 26, 1999, in front of a big crowd in Las Vegas. Butterbean ended the fight by TKO at the end of the first round. Gennady Golovkin's rise to the top of the middleweight division has been spectacular. One of his best matches was against the Japanese fighter Nobuhiro Ishida in March 2013.
Right hand by Tyson. Mike Tyson, a fellow for whom everybody predicts a great future. If they can find some fights for him.
Left hand almost drove Richardson right through the canvas. There you see Eddie Richardson. Wow, and now the knockout. A left hook, a la Frazier. And down goes Richardson.
A fighter cannot be saved by the bell as the big right hand lands. Tyson knows he's got him in big trouble. If he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele has moved in and has stopped the fight.
Muhammad Ali was the king of trash talking. He could talk his way out of a speeding ticket in the early 1960s. But the hype nearly came crashing down in 1963 when Ali ventured to the United Kingdom to take on brave warrior Henry Cooper. One of, if not the most satisfying punch in boxing history, landed in the heated 2013 clash between Marcus Maidana and Adrian Broner. The trash talking done by Broner in the build-up was outrageous to say the least, and most boxing fans were picking the 27-0 fighter to win the bout with relative ease. But you can never count on a man that possesses the power Maidana does. And in round 2, he landed with a sweet left hook and put Broner down for the first time in his career.
By Maidana, that sticks another right hand. Broner goes down for the first time in his career. He's hurt back. And he's hurt.
On October 26, 1951, Joe Louis fought Rocky Marciano. It was a crossroads bout for both. Louis was 37 years old and needed to beat Marciano in order to get one last shot at the title.
For the 28-year-old Marciano,
who was in his 4th year as a pro, Louis was his first big-name opponent in the 8th round. Marciano floored Louis with a short but powerful left hook. When Joe Rose Rocky went in to end the fight, he backed up Louis to the ropes and landed 2 left hooks. After a second hook, Louis's hands dropped to his side, and Marciano landed a right that drove Louis down and through the ropes. February 2000. The famous warrior Arturo Gatti sent Joey Gamache to the hospital for a week and subsequently ended his career.
This is the second time in 2 fights now that Gotti has...
Use that right-footed pivot, swing around on your opponent's side, and then crash.
Oh, he got a right uppercut, another right uppercut, and down goes Mathis.
He stepped back and did it again, stepped off and around, and ripped that uppercut to where Mathis was ducking right into it.
9, 10. He didn't beat the count.
A devastating right uppercut, 2 of them by Mike Tyson.
Glad you pointed it out because down he goes, the left hook just buried him, dug him in the ribs.
It was a
Michael
left and a right.
Johnson went goodbye. That left hook just caught him and sent him right to the cancer.
23-pound weight advantage, and he put it all there.
The right to the head, and it's all over. Goodbye.
I hope he's not hurt because that was a brutal, wide-open punch.
And a right hand behind it. Thomas in trouble again. And now Tyson moves in for the kill. 2 uppercuts to the left hand. Thomas trying to hold on. Serious trouble. And down he goes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Bernard Hopkins seemed to be defying the laws of aging during his late 40s. He was beating world champion after world champion and looking pretty good doing it. But when he stepped in the ring for the last time in 2016 against Joe Smith Jr. at the age of 51, he was beat up and knocked out of the ring, giving him far from a dream send-off.
2 possible opponents.
Big right hand. He's out. Out ring. God.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Joe
crazy.
Smith, who Dan Rayfield suggested as an opponent, has just knocked Bernard Hopkins out of the ring. Out of the ring. And that time, he landed something huge.
And it's a huge win for Joe Smith. And it's still an extraordinary thing to see Bernard Hopkins push.
For those of you that watch part 1, you might remember the casual walk Foreman did just before he obliterated Jerry Cooney. And if you thought that was casual, check out Jersey Joe Walcott's before landing a devastating uppercut on Ezzard Charles.
It was so casual, it was like he was walking to the shop to grab a pint of milk.
Oh, a terrific left hook to the jaw. Charles is down. The champion is down flat on his face.
This was actually an amazing upset victory for Walcott. He had previously failed on 4 attempts for the heavyweight title and entered the bout a 9-1 underdog. We all enjoy watching a younger George Foreman running through guys like they were nothing but pancake batter, waiting to be flattened out and rolled over. But his greatest night in the ring would come 20 years later, when he matched up against Michael Moore for the IBF heavyweight title. Moore dominated Foreman for 10 rounds, until out of nowhere Big George landed a quick 2-punch combination and became the oldest heavyweight champion of all time.
Michael Moore needs to go back to working. That's it! It's a short right hand! There is no way he's getting up from that! That is the face of shock and awe there. Joe Cortez finishes the count of 10. George Foreman looks up at the heavens. He is once again down on his knees to...
August 1990, the young Pernell Whitaker
became the undisputed lightweight champion of the world by knocking out Juan Nazario in the first round. June 1936. 2 legends, Max Schmeling and Joe Louis, met for the first time in the ring. The referee was the legendary Arthur Donovan, and the stadium seats were sold out. The bout was scheduled for 15 rounds. 57 million people listened on their radios. A minute into the 4th round, and with Joe Louis bearing down hard, Schmeling once again moved away to establish the desired distance as he did. Louis followed, and reached out with a slow, pawing jab. Schmeling instantly pounced with a vicious counter right. The punch visibly stunned the inexperienced Lewis, who had a shocked expression that crossed his face as his legs buckled. Schmeling followed up with a flurry of shots, punctuated by the perfect right cross that dumped Lewis on the canvas. Chris Eubank was both brilliant and unique. His antics for the cameras were priceless. In September 1990, he knocked out Reginaldo dos Santos 20 seconds into the first round.
Stumbling around. 8, 9, can he make it? It's over. It's over. Mike Tyson has returned.
One right hand equals neutralizes everything that was happening to him. That's what happens when you got a great puncher.
From 1989 to 2003, Roy Jones Jr. had 50 fights, with 49 victories, and the only loss on his record was caused by him making a stupid mistake in the first fight. In 1997, we are being told just a few months later, the rematch was on. And Jones didn't waste his time, proving he was undoubtedly the best fighter in the world.
Pound for pound.
Huge round for Roy Jones so far.
Roy Jones is playing the fainting game, and Griffith is benefiting by it. Whoa, what a left hook. What a left hook.
He's got trouble. 9. And that's that. Jones gets his vindication via a first-round knockout.
One of the most epic clashes of style came back in 1990 when the 68-0 Julio Cesar Chavez took on the 24-0 speed demon Meldrick Taylor. The bout ended up winning the award for the 1990 Fight of the Year, and rightly so. After a grueling 12-round war, Taylor had a clear lead on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards, and just had to make it to the final bell to score a huge upset. But Chavez, being the ultimate champion he was, did his utmost best to turn the fight around.
If he gets up, he probably wins the fight. I can't believe it!
Unbelievable! Richard Steele stopped the fight with fewer than 5 seconds to go.
I've always been convinced the fight was stopped unfairly. Only 2 seconds stood between Taylor's glory of beating one of boxing's greatest ever champions in his prime.
But if the ref sees you unfit to continue, in 1909, Jack Johnson went into the ring against Stanley Ketchel in what they called the Battle of David and Goliath. Legend has it that the 2 fighters agreed to try to go the full 20 rounds for the sake of making a motion picture to be replayed in theater. However, Stanley Ketchel saw an opening in the 12th round and went for the knockout, flooring Johnson with a right. When Jack Johnson got up, Ketchel moved in for the kill and was knocked out by a massive right from the champion. As Ketchel was counted out, Johnson brushed off a pair of Ketchel's teeth that had embedded in his glove. Johnson allegedly said, "He crossed me, and I made him pay for it." After a record-breaking reign atop the heavyweight division, the great Joe Louis finally retired in 1948, and in the years immediately following, boxing struggled to find someone to live up to his reputation. It would take an extraordinary fight with a legendary knockout to help boxing's premier weight class regain popularity. On September 23, 1952, that happened. Rocky Marciano entered the ring against Jersey Joe Walcott. In the 13th round, Marciano knocked out Joe Walcott with a right hook. Marciano went on to become the new world heavyweight champion at number 1.
That round at the right. Oh, a big right hand, and down goes the former champion. He was there right on the button. He's definitely hurt. His legs are gone, and in comes Mike. There was a big right hand. There he's down again. He should be hanging on. There with the right hand, the left hand. He's gonna hang on, or they'll stop the fight. Down he goes. Oh, he's hurt. It's all over. He is knocked out. It didn't even bother the crowd. It was a vicious right hand. It came like a bolt. We looked for it, and Larry got hurt. A big right hand ends the career.
The WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Robert Burbick and Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away, and he gets that right from him, and he's down on time. Bangs the body. Wow, that uppercut is Tyson. Hits him with a right left hook, and he goes down. He goes down. He should be able to get up from this. His legs may be shut. They are. He's got the heart. But his body won't let him do what his mind wants to. Boom, as a knockout. Bill Wade counted him out to 10. Let's watch the finishing blow. Crushing right hand. Wow, with a left hook. And a right hand right in the temple bone. And he's in trouble here. He reels backwards. Notice that Paul Tyson, Burbick's doing nothing offensively. He crashes down.
Tyson not afraid, as we expected, and Spinks ready to mix it up with him. Tyson along the ropes doing damage. Michael Spinks has to keep moving because every shot. Prescott landed inside and Spinks went down.
Spinks has ever been down in a professional fight.
And he's down again and in serious trouble. A right hand right on the chin.
6, 7, 8. He's not going to make it. It's all over.
We have the infamous matchup between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. The super bout would go on to be known as the Rumble in the Jungle, and anyone who was around to watch the fight live will tell you it was something very special indeed.
Remember, this wasn't an ordinary heavyweight. This was a guy who could knock down walls.
Everybody felt that Ali was going to get hurt. This was this was a monster.
I was so afraid that George Foreman was going to kill Ali.
Me and maybe one other person thought he could beat George Foreman. He believed it. He believed it.
Ali's confidence isn't shared by many boxing experts. But during the fight, Ali would add rope-a-dope to the lexicon, and a great new chapter to his legend.
Ali stands back. Ali formed, in his mind, he formed the rope-a-dope right there and then.
To take that kind of punishment from a guy like George, who knocked most guys out like they were rag dolls. I can't fathom taking those kind of blows from a guy who punches that hard. Those punches could crack ribs.
I had predicted that Foreman was going to annihilate him. And in between rounds, when he started to wear George down, he said, "Hey, big fella, what do you think now?"
Knock George out.
When Muhammad Ali put George down, he had proven that he is indeed the greatest.
Ali beats Foreman. Humiliates.
Thanks for watching. This will be the last part of this mini-series. So if you enjoyed it, please remember to hit the like button. And for everyone watching this that's not subscribed already, feel free to join in with the rest of the YouTube content.